non-answer.
But that is that when we pick up with, you know, aside from Reddington with Liz, that's a really key thing, is who is she going to become now? You know, we sort of began with a very idyllic life, you know, the husband and the cute house and the dog and the perfect life, and the day Reddington shows up, everything changes, and now it's sort of, you know, it's a very, you know, new life for her.
You have some guest stars coming up in season 2. One in particular you want to talk about?
Yeah, we're excited to talk about this. You know, the casting of the show has been so fun because we've been very fortunate in getting great people to come in, you know, whether it's blacklisters or for longer runs. And we do have a reoccurring actress who is going to be on the show for a while, and is somebody who is completely tied inextricably to Reddington, which will be played by Mary Louise Parker, and we're super excited about that.
So her character is named Naomi Highland. Is there anything else you can tell us about her?
Is there anything else I can say?
No. That would be no.
James has shut it down. We've already said too much. We're all now on the list. One of the great things about the show, too, is you still manage to mix mythology with the criminal of the week, and talk about sort of the balance. As the season went on, obviously you spent a little more time with the whole Tom and Liz story. How are you going to balance mythology versus...
I think every season of a show has an ebb and a flow, and you know, in this case, we inherit a great deal from where we left last season. So there is a certain... we owe a certain amount to pay off the story that we arrive at with Berlin and Red and their conflict, and then inevitably, like last year, we will ramp up to something toward the end of the season. And it is a balance between those things that I think you have to earn over the course of a season, and then once you've earned them, you can't just drop them. You have to do what you need to honestly pay off the consequences. But along the way, we are very insistent that we have episodic blacklist characters each and every week that we feel like we've been lucky enough to get actors, like John said, who've been great and found ways to design what we hope people enjoy as a great rogues gallery of villains that are very specific to our show that you really couldn't see on any other show.
And will we see more Alan Alda? Will we get learn more about the Cabal and sort of what secret Red is holding over them?
Yes.
The nature of which we'll have to move off of.
But it's been fun as you guys have sort of dropped these threads throughout the season, and there's sort of more mysteries that you're sort of sprinkling throughout the show.
I'll tell you something funny, because people, you know, have been, I've been traveling since, literally, we shoot the show in New York City, and then since the show wrapped, I've been traveling, working overseas on the Avengers. And, thank you. But it's been fascinating because I'm running into people, you know, from everywhere that now watch our show. And the thing that's really so interesting to me is here you have a show that's structured as a procedural, you know, with a week-to-week blacklister and so on and so forth, which I think supplies a tremendous